China, the Color of Love, by Star Amadeo. Chapter 1. As Willow drifted into sleep, a vision of her cherished companion, Jellybee, a stuffed panda, appeared before her. Accompanying him was a majestic jet-black vulture, whom he introduced as Turbo. She reached to touch Jellybee's soft, furry paw and Turbo's sleek wing feathers to see if they were real. To her astonishment, they were. Filled with excitement, Jellybee exclaimed, "Let's go, Willow. Turbo is taking us to the land of pandas, temples, and delicious food." Although she had no idea where the land of pandas was, she knew she loved them. Assuring her that the adventure would be magical, Jellybee said, "Climb aboard Turbo and hold on. Now close your eyes, count to 3, and with the clap of my paws, we will be on our way." Chapter 2. Willow soared through the sky, her long golden hair blowing wildly in the wind. Jellybee asked her to open her eyes in what seemed like a matter of seconds. As she gazed at the stunning cobalt-blue ocean below, she heard him say he would be her tour guide in the enchanted land they were about to visit. Jellybee directed Willow to look towards the horizon. The easily identifiable bright red flag with its gold stars flew proudly high atop one of the world's most magnificent structures. Turbo heard her gasp in awe as she asked, "Is that the Great Wall of China?" Jellybee explained that construction of the Great Wall lasted for over 2,000 years. It is the longest man-made structure in the world, with a distance of over 21,000 kilometers. Walking along this magnificent structure's central section would take 3 to 6 months. Nicknamed the Stone Dragon, the Great Wall wound up and down across mountains and plateaus. It was spectacular. Like a flash of lightning, Turbo made a hard left turn to travel southwest towards the Sichuan province, flying over the megacity of Chengdu. Continuing south, they flew above lush green parts of rural China before nearing red sandstone cliffs. One more sharp turn and there he was, larger than life. She listened closely as Jellybee taught her about Leshen's giant sitting Buddha, facing Mount Emi, one of China's 4 sacred mountains, over 50 kilometers away. At a height of 71 meters and carved from the cliff face, it is the world's largest and tallest sitting stone Buddha statue, overlooking the junction of the Min River and Dadu River, with the water flowing at his feet. The carving was started in the Tang dynasty by a monk named Hai Tong and took more than 90 years to complete. Its grandness was unfathomable. "You must be hungry, I am. Let's find something yummy to eat," said Turbo. Chapter 3. A group of children ran towards them as they landed. They chanted, "Welcome to Chengdu," and grasped Willow's hand, leading her to a nearby park where they shared stories and laughter. The park filled Willow's eyes and senses with vibrant flowers, koi fish ponds, trees almost touching the sky, and elegant white egrets that soared overhead. She was amazed to learn that egrets are over 1 meter tall with a wingspan of up to 170 centimeters. They sat on small bamboo chairs in a peaceful outdoor tea house on the edge of a small lake while sharing colorful bowls of spicy, hand-pulled noodles, steaming vegetable-filled dumplings, warm lotus root, refreshing watermelon, and soothing jasmine tea. It was the first time Willow had eaten with chopsticks, and she was excited at how quickly she had mastered the technique. After eating, the children took her for a walk to experience Jinli Street, a famous Chengdu pedestrian street, where they insisted that she try bubble tea. Continuing their walk, heartwarming sounds of laughter, music, and singing drifted through the air. With each turn, she observed extremely modern buildings standing in contrast with ancient temples. The skyline was captivating. Although it was still relatively early in the day, food vendors began organizing for the night market. They were lining the streets as far as the eye could see. Random groups of women were preparing to dance to upbeat music, adding excitement to the city. After dark, colorful lights would artistically cover city skyscrapers as a mesmerizing backdrop. Enthusiastically, Jellybee told Willow the pandas were waiting, and it was time for them to go. As she waved and blew goodbye kisses to her new friends, they told her she was always welcome in China. She was deeply moved by the warmth and love of these precious children and would remember them forever. Chapter 4. With Turbo close behind, Jellyby guided her through a bustling train station that buzzed with excitement as passengers eagerly awaited their high-speed train to reach their destination. Hurrying, they ran down the steep steps to an expansive platform for their train that would arrive soon. They heard the train's high-pitched whistle before seeing the shiny, sleek, futuristic engine pull into the station. It was the longest train she had ever seen. Finally stopping, they all quickly jumped aboard to begin their journey. Although traveling up to 350 kilometers per hour, the train was quiet as it whisked them away to Mount Qingchang near Duzhongyan Giant Panda Base. They would be there in a blink of an eye. Along the way, Jellyby explained that Sichuan Province's Mount Qingchang had inspired the Kung Fu Panda movie with its fictional Panda Village, piquing foreign viewers' interest in visiting for its outstanding scenery. Exiting the train, Jellyby and Willow ran hand in hand up the hill and into the bamboo forest to join Jellyby's family and friends who awaited their arrival from the ancient city of Chengdu. Almost immediately, Willow heard, "Ni hao." She spotted a mommy panda with her baby looking down at her from high above in a treetop. Willow called back, "Hello!" She was so excited to see a baby panda. As they walked further into the dense forest, more pandas joined them. Willow believed China was undoubtedly the land of pandas, fabulous food and happiness. Her excitement grew. Jellyby introduced Willow to his friends and family and suggested they hike up the mountain together. They walked deeper into the thick bamboo forest and up Mount Qingchang's countless steps. She was curious about the numerous, long red ribbons draped from trees as they climbed higher and higher. Jellyby told her that written on the back of each ribbon were wishes for good luck and happiness. Along the way, they passed ancient Taoist and Buddhist temples scattered throughout the mountain. She learned that the doctrine of Chinese Taoism was founded there by philosopher Yung Ling in 142 CE. Savoring the fragrance of incense, they rested at various tea houses, drank bamboo tea, and ate mooncakes together before finally reaching the 1,240-meter-high summit, where the mountain's crown jewel, Xingjing Palace, had stood for over half a millennium. Nearing the summit, they all watched Willow joyously sprint up the last few steps and past the ribbon-covered, ornately carved white horse-like statues. The pandas followed closely behind. Xingjing Palace was pulling her to it like a magnet. She stopped short at the open doors. Her eyes grew big as she peeked inside. She could not help but stare at the magnificent flowers, meaningful statues, large burning candles, and many other beautiful objects she did not recognize. The soft smell of incense was everywhere. It was dreamlike. The pandas rushed to Willow's side while Jellyby and Turbo looked on. A darling baby panda approached her and smiled. He whispered for her to copy everything he was about to do. He selected 3 incense sticks, put each into the fire to ignite, and then pushed them upright into the sand with the many others that would smolder for hours. Afterward, they both faced the altar, with the little panda holding his paws in prayer position at heart level. She followed his lead and slowly bowed 3 times. He gently placed a fresh, ripe orange into her hand with his warm, furry paw and said, "Please, Willow, lay this orange on the altar as your offering and bow." Tears of gratitude rolled down her cheeks. Indeed, China was the land of red, the color of love. Her heart felt warm. Jellyby saw in her eyes that she knew it was almost time to leave this unforgettable mountain. She felt sad, knowing she would miss her new friends and everything about China. To distract her, Jellyby said excitedly there was something he wanted her to see. However, they did need to return home before sunrise, so they must move quickly. Chapter 5. The group sped down the mountain and through the forest. After hugging each panda and waving goodbye, Willow, Jellyby, and Turbo were on the train again, returning to Chengdu. They were going to the Shufang Yayun Opera House to watch the Sichuan Opera perform Face Changing and Fire Spitting. Quickly and quietly, they entered the opera house as the music began. Willow was about to witness an ancient, treasured folk art that had originated in the 1700s. She was breathless and in disbelief watching the performers use swiping, pulling, and blowing techniques with quick, dramatic movements to change as many as 8 colorful, exotic masks smoothly without the slightest detection. She learned that spitting fire is a challenging and dangerous art, with the performers spitting out fire for up to 2 meters. Face-changing and spitting fire was an art derived from the old Shu kingdom over 1,000 years ago. After the show, Jellyby said they must hurry. The sun would rise soon, and they could not waste a minute traveling across the Pacific Ocean. Once again, he clapped his furry paws together, and they were gone. Chapter 6. As Willow awoke, she noticed her heart still felt warm from her experiences in China. Where was Jellyby? She looked around the room. As always, her faithful companion was sleeping right next to her, but this time he held bamboo chopsticks between his soft paws. She smiled and looked at him adoringly, whispering, "Thank you, my dearest friend. I cannot wait to return to China with you and Turbo." Copyright and disclaimer. China. The Color of Love is a work of fiction. While reference may be made to actual events or existing locations, the names, characters, places, and incidents are either the product of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, business establishments, events, or locales is entirely coincidental. China. The Color of Love. Copyright 2024 by Adrian Starr Amadeo. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopy, recording, or by any information and retrieval systems or in any manner whatsoever without the written permission of the publisher and author. ISBN 978-1738-027392. Created and produced in Canada. Published by Starlight Fables, Vancouver, Canada. Email mystarlightfables@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.